Hey guys, Claire here, and in today's video, we're going to talk about all things Harry and Meghan. The Duke of Sussex's memoir, Spare, has been double nominated for Book of the Year prizes in the UK. Prince Harry's book, Spare, has been shortlisted for 2 British Book Awards Book of the Year prizes. The final awards will be presented on May 13th in London. Now, speaking of Prince Harry, it's always funny to see little ones in school dressing up as Prince Harry for World Book Day, and this year is no exception. This one is so adorable. You could kind of see him in the middle there. Little cutie. This week has been packed with a lot of Meghan news, so let's get to it. Meghan has teamed up with Geena Davis and Moms First. This week, the Duchess of Sussex, the Geena Davis Institute on Gender in Media, and Moms First released a report on the perceptions of moms in TV. And if you're interested, you can check out that report on all 3 of those websites, Archwell, the Geena Davis Institute, and for Moms First. I highly recommend. It's a really good read. This week, Meghan's Archetypes with Meghan's podcast has been distributed along all podcast platforms, and the upward trajectory of Archetypes is not surprising to me, but it's nice to see. So far on Apple Podcast, the Archetypes with Meghan is number 4 as I'm recording this right now on the top shows and number 1 in the society and culture section. So wow, it's been almost 2 years since Archetypes came on the scene and concluded, and hey, coming in strong. So I literally just finished watching the panel discussion, which was phenomenal. In the little live chat section, I saw a lot of you in there. So that was nice to see. Did you guys enjoy the panel discussion? I did. I feel like each and every woman had so much interesting commentary to offer. Highly recommend it. I think that it should be on YouTube for rewatch. So if you want to see it, perhaps I'll leave the link in the description box below and you can check it out. Now, of course, the UK press is covering that. And was it Royally Shady or Court Gossip on Twitter shared screenshots of The Telegraph, which was doing a live reporting of Meghan on the panel. Live stream, live reporting with little key moments with a timestamp. For the same Duchess of Sussex that you guys say that she's irrelevant and nobody likes her. Really? A live stream? The obsession is real. And I know I'm not the only one who thought it was so cute to see Prince Harry front and center, just coming in there quietly, supporting his wife, smiling, beaming. He's so cute. Now, I'm not one to get choked up about romance, but I think that the relationship that Harry and Meghan have is so cute. I love to see them supporting each other unabashedly. It's nice.
I'm fortunate in that, amongst the privileges that I have in my life, I have an incredible partner. My husband is such a hands-on dad and such a supporter of me and our family, and that I don't take for granted. That is a real blessing.
And as usual, Meghan's silk outfit has sold out, but it is available on pre-order. So if you're interested, have at it. Now, like I said before, I highly encourage that you listen to the entire panel. There was so much that was discussed, and each of the panel members brought something very different and interesting to the conversation. As it relates to Meghan, she touched on different things that the Archwell Foundation has been working with when it comes to women empowerment. Remember earlier in the video, we talked about the report with the Geena Davis Institute and Moms First that was funded by Archwell. So Meghan touched on a lot of different topics. And I really enjoyed the conversation that she had surrounding how she navigates all of the hate and trolling that's directed at her via social media.
Fortunately, I know that this is something that you are all too familiar with. So how have you been able to manage the seemingly endless toxicity that comes at you?
Yes, social media is a environment that I think has a lot of that. It's really interesting as I can reflect on it. I keep my distance from it right now just for my own well-being. But the bulk of the bullying and abuse that I was experiencing in social media and online was when I was pregnant with Archie and with Lily and with a newborn with each of them. And you just think about that and to really wrap your head around why people would be so hateful. It's not catty, it's cruel. What I find the most disturbing, frankly, especially as a supporter of women, is how much of the hate is women completely spewing that to other women. And I cannot make sense of that because I understand that there are certain platforms. Look, today's a really good example. This is being streamed on one of those platforms. And it's also fantastic because people are going to have access to hear all of this brilliance and all of this insight. And at the same time, it's a platform that has quite a bit of hate and rhetoric and incentivizes people to create pages where they can churn out very, very inciting comments and conspiracy theories that can have a tremendously negative effect on someone's mental health.
Meghan's post-royal work is very much in alignment to the things that she has consistently cared about before meeting Harry. And it was interesting to see the moderator really place emphasis on this. Not only does Meghan talk the talk, but she walks the walk.
And contributor to depression and anxiety in teenagers. The Archwell Foundation seems to be doing so much work at the forefront of the online world. So you are somebody that is also, walking the walk here, especially for young people.
I wasn't planning on making a video today, but when Meghan Markle takes the stage at South by Southwest as a keynote panelist on International Women's Day and tells women to use their voices, I felt like I should probably make this video today. Because I've had it up to here with the damn Royal Rota, you guys. Deeply unserious people. Miss Rebecca English, the head of the Royal Rota, might I add, the one who dictates who gets press assignments to cover the royals, has written for the Daily Mail, "The social media cesspit of speculation on Kate's health is sickening." I agree with you, Rebecca. What is the palace to do? This is where I think you and I have some differences of opinions. Because if you asked me, the palace should have done something not when all of these Twitter conspiracy theories popped off about Kate wanting privacy, but 5 years ago when it was her sister-in-law, the Duchess of Sussex, who was being harassed, threatened, abused daily on social media. Not only did the palace not do anything about it, the press lent into it and allowed Meghan to be thrown under the bus in order to get clicks. Really, if I could speak to Rebecca English directly, my question would be, how dare you? How dare you demand cordiality for Kate when you spent the last 5 years not just ignoring but perpetuating the abuse faced by her sister-in-law, who is also a royal, is also a princess. Now, I did make a video on my TikTok saying that I don't think it's right to harass or bully Kate or direct just overtly snarky things at her just because of her demands for privacy or the fact that she's in a health crisis right now. But here's the thing. I'm saying that about people who are bullying Kate just to bully her. The vast majority of people talking about her want of privacy right now, they're not doing it just to talk about Kate, just to be mean to her. They are doing it because they witness firsthand the same, actually worse treatment be launched at Meghan for 5 years. She spoke about this today. She talked about what it was like to be at the receiving end of conspiracy theories and cruelty on social media while she was pregnant. Not once, but twice. And she pinpointed that as the perpetrators wanting to hit her while she was most vulnerable. And I get that the Royalists are going to now say this is exactly what Kate's facing, and she's not complaining on a world stage about it. She's keeping calm and carrying on. No, Rebecca English in this article, spoiler alert, does nothing to connect the abuse of Meghan to the abuse of Kate. It's like Kate was the first woman in her mind to ever receive this treatment. But she also goes so far as to say it's Harry and Meghan's fans who are doing it to Kate because they have an axe to grind. I just want to say it is not so much us. I will put myself in that camp because I am a fan of Meghan Markle. It's not so much us having an axe to grind as you and the palace reaping what you have sown. And it's not so much Harry and Meghan fans as everybody in the world suddenly seeing this situation play out with Kate and finally tuning into the fact that, oh yeah, Meghan didn't deserve that. The palace could have stopped the abuse of Meghan, and they didn't. And now it's only a problem when it's happening to the White Princess or the English Rose Princess, however you want to word it. The real issue here is that Kate has been deemed deemed acceptable by the British press, therefore she is untouchable. Meghan was deemed unacceptable by the British press, I believe to some extent by the palace or the aides at the palace who took a disliking to her, and that's why she was at the receiving end of this treatment for so long. You cannot hide this shit anymore. You cannot force this stuff down the public's throat and expect them to gladly swallow it. Oh, and really quick, back to the what's the palace to do line. The palace knows what they can do, and they have done it when it comes to protecting Will and Kate. They can and will contact the authors of negative stories on Will and Kate to get them removed or altered. They can and will contact people who make derisive tweets about them and get them removed. Go look up a certain tweet from Ryanair back in 2022 and you will see what I mean. They can do it when it comes to Will and Kate, but when it came to Meghan, they had no appetite for it. Anyway, since it's Friday, just one more look at Meghan and the other beautiful women on the South by Southwest panel today. Happy International Women's Day.
Not only did Meghan touch on her personal experiences, she also spoke about representation, the importance of community, and the fact that there's room at the table for all of us to thrive. All in all, it was a wonderful panel.
Matters in terms of if you're a young girl and you see yourself in a position of power or strength or leadership, you can believe that that is possible. If you look out on the screen or you look out in the world and you see no one that looks like you, it is incomprehensible for most people to imagine that they can have that level of success or joy or strength, whatever it may be. And, you know, the key thing that I think needs to be focused on in terms of equity is that it's not a zero-sum game. Just because someone else has the same advantage that you do doesn't mean that you're losing anything. And it actually creates an environment that is so fair, but also inclusive, where people feel as though they have a seat at the table, as they should.
After completing a stellar panel, Meghan is spotted taking a few selfies with fans and even took the time to autograph some Suits memorabilia. So yeah.
Thank you so much. This is my only chance. Thank you, Meghan. You're welcome.
We also got to see videos and photos of Prince Harry and Duchess Meghan getting a bite to eat at a local Austin-based barbecue restaurant. And from the smiles of everyone in the photo, it looked like everyone had a good old time.
So today is International Women's Day. Meghan Markle is currently in Texas at the South by Southwest panel. At this panel, she talks about a lot of things. But I think the one that was most prominent for me, or really drew my attention, was her speaking on mental health, bullying, cyberbullying, etc. People magazine reported what she talked about at the panel, and a lot of it was how she is not on social media because of the obsessive bullying and cyberbullying when she was pregnant with Archie and Lily. She said that the bullying was not catty, it was just plain cruel. And I 100% agree with her. As somebody that struggles with mental health, it's really nice to hear somebody that looks like you, that is biracial in this world, talk about these things that matter so much, because mental health is one of the leading causes of death in the United States and around the world. So I want to applaud Meghan for speaking on this, and this is one of the reasons why I look up to her so much. And I think it's something everybody should consider as well. And I think you guys should really take the time and listen to what she has to say, because I know a lot of people in this world dislike her, but 2 times as many of those people that dislike her love her. So that's just a win in her book.
While in Texas, Harry and Meghan have visited the Archewell Foundation's San Antonio Welcome Project. Welcome Project supports the creation of programming for women who have recently resettled from Afghanistan. Meghan also joined the women in cooking traditional Afghan food. And from the photos released, it looks like everyone had a good time. Netflix co-CEO Tim Sarandos is very happy with the production deals with the Obamas and the Sussexes. During an interview with Forbes, Sarandos said that the documentary we did with them is one of our most watched documentaries of all time.
I know people have probably already mentioned this, but I just wanted to say I think the funniest part about this whole Kate Middleton drama conspiracy theories is that William not working is what brought it into the limelight. Because Kate hadn't been seen since Christmas, and the palace announced her surgery on January 17th. It wasn't until he pulled out of an engagement 45 minutes before it happened that rumors began to fly. And Prince William's laziness will forever be the funniest thing to me. It reminds me of back in 2016 when he was caught lying and it was being questioned, like, why aren't you doing more royal work? He put the blame on like red tape for preventing him from working. Essentially, he was saying, oh, because I have a part-time job as an air ambulance pilot, I can't work. And they were like, no, dude, you can do what you want on rest days, including paid employment, as long as you're not flying an aircraft. By the way, he was only working 20 hours a week. Anyways, here's to hoping his work ethic gets better.
Talk about Queen Camilla taking time off because she's very tired.
Well,
Camilla. Let's talk about Camilla.
How many
because
engagements she's performed this year?
46.
Good try.
13 since Charles announced his cancer diagnosis last month, but I think it's in the 40s already, isn't it?
But
Do we know the answer?
No, I think it's 13 altogether.
Okay.
Yeah, 13 altogether.
Now, are we getting out the world's smallest violin, Emma?
I know, I do go back and forth. Is it hard work?
Indian spa? No, it isn't. Hard work.
I know, but she's in her 70s. It's quite wearing doing those kind of
Princess
public...
Anne is in her 70s and she's done 86 engagements.
I know. I'm just saying I think Camilla's been through quite a lot. I think emotionally. I'm not saying she's, out there stacking shelves. There are people in their 70s still working, working as carers, whatever. I think it's quite emotionally wearing what she's been through. Becoming queen, then all the family stuff, her husband being diagnosed as really possibly quite ill. I'm hearing that he's actually iller than we...
Wouldn't you want to stick around your husband while he's going through cancer treatment?
And is she definitely leaving Charles at home?
Yeah. Apparently she's going to India to a spa.
That's what surprised me. I thought when I first heard that she was taking a bit of time off, that she would be spending time with Charles at one of the beautiful country houses. They'd take your pick, whether you want to go east or west. But actually, going to an Indian spa seems a bit weird. I'm a massive Camilla fan, actually.
She's been there quite a few times.
But we don't know, of course, how run down she's feeling. Maybe she's got, if not health problems, she may be not in a great way. But they're dropping like flies.
What baffles me, though, Emma,
when you're
a working woman, which she is, that's not the tiring bit. The tiring bit is going home and running around with the Hoover and putting the dishwasher on and putting the laundry on and making the fridge full. She doesn't have to do anything.
You're going to be a red Republican like me and my nan, Red Jessie, soon, who taught me that we should turn Buckingham Palace into council houses.
Funnily enough, I've got a renewed appreciation for the royal family, just mainly because I don't want President Tony Blair in the country. But I think they really run the risk of having a bit of a PR disaster.
I know, and I do agree with you.
She's tired.
I do agree with you, because it's not hard work when you have so much help. Everything is absolutely top-notch. Even the treatment. I mean, and absolutely, I wish King Charles all the best. But he's going to get, my father went through cancer. We've all seen our relatives go through cancer, getting the bus to the hospital, having their chemo, coming back on the bus, feeling rotten, having
He
no
didn't
one
go on a
to
waiting
help.
list, and I'm not saying he should, but I think the royal family needs to be aware that when you've got NHS waiting lists over 7.5 million, including for things like cancer treatment, that you have to be aware of how it plays with the public, how the messaging plays.
So, word of the street has it that Queen Camilla here has decided to take a temporary break from the royal family and step down temporarily from all of her royal duties. Now, my question is, where was this energy when Harry and Meghan wanted to just step down from their senior roles? They still wanted to serve the country, they still wanted to do the family, justice and make them proud, but instead they got casted out of the country, casted out the family, named, shamed, and demoralised through the British media that is run by the royal family. But Camilla wants to just up and go for a little bit, and it's perfectly fine. Never mind the fact that we still have our lovely Kate Middleton, who's somewhere stuck with the unknown in Willy Wonka land, still not to be seen. I'm seeing a problem here. I don't know about you, but I'm seeing a real problem here. And if you know, you know. For one couple to be scrutinised so badly by a whole family and a whole British institution based on the fact that they wanted to protect their family and their children, versus someone who just wants to take a break because they're a bit tired and didn't realise the duties that they have been getting themselves into by throwing themselves in as a queen. I think you can tell how this is unfair.
Okay, listen, a lot of y'all not gonna like this video, but it's gonna be what it's gonna be. This needs to be said, and I'm gonna be the person to say it. You know what? The thing that I find very fascinating about all of this is that when Harry and Meghan were and continue to be harassed by the UK media, you don't hear anything from the palaces. Not a single solitary word, even before they put out their docu-series and their, or Harry's book, Spare. They had nothing to say. We were told that the reason why Buckingham Palace could not comment on it is because they had to be above the fray. That they couldn't get down with the riffraff, okay? And it didn't matter that they were attacking Harry and Meghan. Hell, it didn't even matter that they were attacking Archie and Lily. None of it mattered. They weren't allowed to say a single word. And that Harry and Meghan were just weak. And they needed to grow a spine just because a few people said some mean things. They need to get over themselves. But when Kate goes viral with hashtag where is Kate, all of a sudden Kensington Palace got something to say. Now it's like, listen, we already told you we're going to give you no updates unless something significant happened. Shut up talking about this. You have different news organizations coming out and saying, oh my God, these conspiracy theories need to stop. Y'all need to stop with the rumors and the lies and the innuendos, okay? Kate is healing. Do you not have any decorum? No compassion, no empathy, nothing. This woman is healing. And as a matter of fact, I've even had people in my comment section say something very similar to me. And I will say to them what I'm going to say now to the papers. No, I don't. I don't have any of that. Why should I? Because you were perfectly fine attacking Meghan when she was pregnant, when her mental health was declining. And even if the UK papers didn't know her mental health was declining, the palaces did. And strange, they had nothing to say. Not a single word of protection. Don't tell me this isn't about race, but the only princess you have time to protect is the white one. And let's be for real. People are not really saying terribly mean things about Kate. People are poking fun at the situation because it's absolutely absurd. Where is Kate? It's interesting, when Meghan wanted to have a private pregnancy, wait, what was she told? That's right, we pay, you pose. She wasn't allowed privacy. She wasn't allowed to not perform, okay? They screamed at the black woman, listen, we don't pay you not to entertain us. We don't pay you not to tap dance for us. If there's information we want to know, you must give it to us because we pay for you. You are not allowed privacy. Unless we're talking about the white princess. And then she deserves privacy because it's her health. As if pregnancy has absolutely nothing to do with your health. So y'all can miss me with this, oh, one person needs to be protected. No. If it was good and is continuing to be good for Meghan, it is good for Kate. Hashtag where's Kate? And if and when Kate comes back, it's going to be hashtag Kate, where you been? Because y'all don't really care about rumors, because if you did, you would have had things to say about rumors like this. Harry and Meghan getting divorced. Meghan Markle faking her pregnancies. Or what about speaking of dead people's names, now saying that Prince Philip had a nasty name for Meghan Markle now that he can't stand up for herself? Or what about Queen Elizabeth, who is angry over Lilibet's name, even though she was her 7th great-granddaughter at this point to be named after her? Somehow she was only angry with the granddaughter being named after her, the only one with a biracial black mother. Angry she has ever been that she had taken the only thing that Queen Elizabeth owned, which was her name. But again, she didn't mind sharing this name with her own daughter and 6 other granddaughters and great-granddaughters. Are these children not going to grow older and read the nonsense that's been printed about them online? They're children, but they're not out of bounds. They're not off limits. So why is a grown woman off limits? Because one day they're going to have to sit down, Archie and Lily, explain why there are people that hate them, that want to give them terrible names like Elizabeth and whatever else. That they're going to have to explain, no, your grandmother did love you and she was happy that you have her name. Because of the UK media.
But why is there this mystery about her illness? What is that? Is that just, respecting personal boundaries, or I don't get it.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of both. I mean, the fact is that the royal family does have a huge amount of power over the British press in this country. And if you ever want any kind of ongoing relationship with the royals, which obviously everybody does, then if you are the one who goes straight over the top and broadcasts something, especially something deeply personal like Kate's illness, then you are going to be excommunicated from the royal pool, as it were.
Hi, Daily Mail, and indeed all the right-wing media today that have decided to report on Meghan Markle's quite stark speech, I thought, yesterday about how horrible it was for her when she was trolled online, especially during her pregnancies. And then, of course, the Daily Mail have gone one step further and have written an article about how she's not welcome in the UK. And I thought, I wonder, do they know that they're being ironic? Do they know that they've actually created the online hate that is sort of thrown at this couple by their lies and disinformation? And then I thought, I wonder why they do it and what they're getting out of it. And I guess we'll never know. But, you know, we've all got to sleep with our own conscience, haven't we? And Amanda Platel, I'm amazed you ever sleep. Ever. All right, as you were.
I would think with Kate Middleton missing and her uncle going into Celebrity Big Brother, I wouldn't need to be talking about Harry and Meghan, but here we are. Yeah, funny enough, Harry and Meghan's name got onto the front of the newspapers this week with all that going on. Yes, reminder, the uncle of Kate Middleton is not getting ripped as much as all of Meghan Markle's whole family put together. Because when Meghan Markle's family says something wrong, it's all Meghan and Harry's fault. But if Kate Middleton's uncle goes on to Celebrity Big Brother, it's somehow Harry and Meghan's fault still. The Scum again had this random story, like, and Meghan made the front cover of the Mirror. Meghan put sticks in the spokes, which was basically Gary talking in the Big Brother house. I will say fair play because your sources are just never there, but in this case, Gary did actually say that in the Big Brother house. We saw that. And the Daily Express went with the same story. Not as big, but again, no mention of Harry. Just Meghan. Always Meghan's fault more. Daily Record, if I see this article one more time, I feel like they just copy and paste into so many newspapers. This kind of shows you what the scum is really like. The day after the budget announcement, that's on the front of every newspaper, they're talking about Harry. Mirror, again, with their expert claims. Who's the expert? Oh, it's just Camilla's friend, Ingrid Seward. Another nonsense story of Meghan Markle putting out feelers to Kate Middleton and King Charles to end suffering. Didn't happen. The Scum, Kate's uncle saying that Meghan and Harry should be stripped of their royal titles. Pathetic. This is today. Meghan Markle prepares for relaunch in UK. This is just constant. And the truth is, if the tabloids stopped lying about Meghan and talked about some positivity, she wouldn't need to relaunch anything, to be fair. Not that she does anyway. In a surprise move for GB News, they actually talked about something that was actually said, so we know that. So that's actually very different to their usual made-up lies. Oh, but the shit sandwich part? That's just the PR exec. And again, another expert with the Mirror. Royal family resent Meghan Markle twice as much as Prince Harry. Surprise. And again, a copy and paste job that Meghan is trying to blah blah blah. As always, stay mad.
You know the score, come at me if you like, I don't care. All followers loved, all new followers appreciated. This is why the writing on the wall for the royal family doesn't look good. Andrew and Sarah, between them, received a huge payment of £1 million from a corrupt business person. Now, things to point out. Doesn't matter whether the guy was corrupt or not, to be frank. They might not have known at that time, but they were working royals. Working royals. What possibly could somebody want from working royals that involved them doing something for him and a payment of £1 million? Just think about that for a moment. Does that sound legitimate to you? Would you approach a member of the royal family as a multi-millionaire and offer them £1 million for something which was small? No. Would you offer them £1 million for something which was big and probably very dodgy? Maybe. The cost of whatever they did for him at £1 million, they've overcharged him because they knew they could, and whatever they've done is an act which is big, not small. That's all I'm going to say. The UK doesn't need a royal family where working royals are outside the law and are able to do things for other people for money. We just don't need it, guys. Full stop.
I didn't think she cared so much about what the British people thought.
Do you know, I think we'd forgive her if they came back and did the right things. You know, brought the children, did a bit of waving, and apparently there's a chance that the Invictus Games is going to come back to Britain next time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we're going to see a bit more of Prince Harry around doing that. So I think we'd forgive them if they just did the right things. Do they have to say sorry, though? I don't think they're going to do that, are they? They're expecting a sorry, frankly.
Well, yes, and maybe that's what people want to know. I think people definitely forgive Harry. I think there's a lot of love and affection there for Harry. People, especially after what happened to his mother, do have a soft spot in their hearts for Harry.
And I think people would forgive her if she just brought the children and showed us what they look
See
like
the
and
family.
how they are. And, yeah, we
Let
want
us
to see a happy
know.
family, don't we?
We do, yes. And I think the British people are very forgiving, actually.
All that work and what did it get me?
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, hit that notification bell.